Hello, this is Yashasvini Razdan reporting for EE Times. I'm here at Recode Kerala with Professor Rajesh Zele from IIT Bombay. Thanks a lot, Professor.
Thank you.
So could you in your talk today you spoke a lot about capacity building, talent building. So I want to ask you. You are from IIT. Most of our top notch talent is concentrated in IITs and NITs and your bits. What do these engineering colleges need to learn from the IIT curriculum or what so that we can be at par because we need to match up. IITs and NITs cannot fulfill the demand that's gonna come for design engineers. So what kind of reforms do we need over there in that segment?
Sure. So, my background is I got educated in IIT Bombay, and then I spent a lot of time in the industry, and then I came back to teach um, after doing many startups, etc. Right. So, one observation I have with us as India is the following: we compartmentalize everything. We have this caste system, like what you just said. No? There will be a caste system of IITs and NITs and this. I think that's something we need to get out of our head.
Okay.
We are all humans, and professors everywhere, they are good. Good professors are good everywhere. They
Yes.
don't have to be branded with IITs and all this.
Yes.
First thing we need to get that right. Now, having said that, we are doing a lot of proactive efforts, like IIT Bombay, for example. At a national level, also we are doing something where we are bringing in teachers from our neighboring, universities, so that we can teach them. Some of the best teachers from IIT Bombay are teaching them how to teach. So it's not like covering the portion, but rather uncovering hey, how should we teach this? How should you tell these jokes? How should you make students interested in learning? I think that's where we need to focus on.
You've moved from industry to academia. So I want to ask you, we've spoken about semiconductor design today. I want to understand what should India be learning from the Taiwan story, where we had industry professionals who came and who built the semiconductor R&D curriculum. So do we have something to learn from that? Is that already happening here in India?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's interesting you asked me this question because as part of my class, I do something called Chip Story, which
Okay.
is like it has become like a web series. It's you can find me on the YouTube, and I talk about exactly this thing you're talking about. Is see when this Taiwan story came up, right? So it came up from a very high level, and it was a survival for that particular country. So they brought in the best possible, you know, best possible people, human resources from United States who were trained over there, and they brought them over here, and they gave them a free hand. And with that, what we see is what we see right now. So similar thing is happening right now in India. With this, with many programs, startup to chip to startup program, DLI program, we are doing something similar. Although we should. I'm an example of a similar story because I got trained in United States. I spent 2 decades over there, and now I'm here spending time in India with our kids, right? So I think more of that needs to happen. We need to get more people who are in other countries, who are trained in other countries, come back and teach our students. And what I like to do in my classroom, more than anything, of course, I can teach technical stuff, reasonably well. At least the students tell me that. But what I'm trying to teach them is how do you become a professional? Because I think if you teach them how to become professional, their life changes substantially because they know how to absorb new material. How do you take advantage of what is given to them? It's like you're dealt with some cards. How do you make the best use of the cards which are dealt with, rather than complaining about the cards? So that's exactly is the mindset change that needs to happen in our country. And I see it's happening. I see, um, I see that most of my students are staying in India. Most of, maybe one or two will leave, and they will go to the best possible. They'll go to Stanford, they'll go to Princeton, no other place. And we have a reputation in US that our students are rejecting them because they're getting so many choices, right? So, but I'm just sharing that as a joke with you. But yeah, I'm happy that my students are staying in our country, and currently they are working for multinationals. My wish is they start their own companies and they work for India. They work on products for India so that they are applicable over here. I mean, great example is our Aadhaar card, our payment systems, right? So these are products for India, and look how will they have flourished. Something like that needs to happen in the chip space too. We should not be designing chips for other countries. We should be designing for us.
Do you think we'll also have like a place like Kerala where design is encouraged so much that we have one of the largest electronics hardware incubators here in Maker Village here in Kerala? Do you think that we can also have a design finishing model like how Taiwan has? Like,
So-
is it possible here in Kerala? Do we have the resources, or
Yeah.
are there some changes in policy
So I
required?
think there is a small. I would like to correct your perception, right? What Taiwan has is that, like for example, right? If I give you, if I teach you everything on the computer, but I don't give you something to play with your
Yes.
hands, right? You're never going to learn as well. What Taiwan got for their designers is, hey, you have an idea, you design it, and we will fabricate for you, and you measure it. They have the entire setup, so that's where people learn. So something similar needs to happen with us also. So I'm very optimistic about our Tata, semiconductor plant. Um, I am already lobbying that we get access to them so that we can play. Our
Yes.
students can play. Our students can play with technology developed in India rather than somewhere else. I think that would be great. In specifically in Kerala, I'm very familiar with what they're doing over here, and I'm super impressed because most of the today's generation likes to sitting on a typing on the computer. So they have become a glorified typist rather than doing things with their hands. So what I see in Kerala whenever I visit my dear friend Alex is there are always students doing things. They're building things with their hands, and I think that's the habit that we need to really nurture. Because once you start building things with your hands, right, nobody can defeat you. AI cannot defeat you. Imagine, right? AI cannot do all these things. You know, maybe you can do the jobs which are laborious. Those we should get AI to do it. But then I think our students need to learn to build things with their hands, and I think that's the message I would like to give.